What's up guys, it's Storm here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys a little bit of a commentary, and I wasn't really sure what video I was going to make for today until a few minutes ago when I thought of this, and I really think you guys will enjoy it, so definitely stay tuned. Even if you're not normally a huge fan of commentaries, I think you guys might enjoy this one. So I was inspired to do this commentary because my friend today is actually graduating, and it just kind of brought back a lot of the memories of years that we played before, years way before that. But I wanted to kind of do a commentary on just some of my memories from back when I started playing, just my major memories. And I think that for some sort of milestone, like maybe 2K, something like that, I'm gonna release a commentary on how I got into trick shotting. But this video will kind of give sort of a teaser into that. So I hope you guys will enjoy that. So here we go. Back in MW2, like in its golden days, I guess you would say. I don't know. I played a little bit, but I was just kind of a try-hard kid, and I didn't even know about trick shotting really back then. In the beginning of it, that's when I had first gotten my Xbox. So I didn't really play with anyone too much, and I would barely ever play because I would only hop on when I was really bored. And I didn't even ever play much at all until my friend Psychy, who's the one who's graduating high school today. So major congrats to him. That's huge. That's actually just crazy to think about. But at the time we had talked in the past, but it wasn't like we hadn't been talking a lot like daily for maybe a couple years at that point. So we started playing with each other, and it was actually really fun. This was right at the beginning of Black Ops 1 now, and eventually we had made up a small group, and there are a couple people that are still here from that small group. Most of them are, I think, Spire came around back then, but I think the first one was Johnny or Void. He was in the very first group, like maybe the first 3 or 4 of us, and we had just started playing with Drowsy back then, because he used to not even have a mic or talk or anything like that, but we had always played with him because he'd just kill any lobby that we went into. And so for the first couple months of Black Ops, we basically all just went into lobbies and destroyed. When Nuketown 2025 came around, we would go for crazy gameplays. Like I think one time Drowsy hit like over a 250 kill gameplay, stuff like that. So we just spawn trap and have fun that way. But a few months after Black Ops 1 was out, is when I really discovered trick shotting. Like, I had known about it before, and I had known that like people were doing no scopes and stuff, and I thought that was really cool. But the first ever time that I had really wanted to get into ill cams or doing stuff like I had seen in ill cams, because that was the first thing that ever inspired me. I wanted to be able to make like my very own ill cams episode, because that was the thing back then. That was the greatest trick shotting series ever, and I think it still is. It just doesn't come out as much as it used to. So yeah, that's what I wanted to do as a trick shotter. I wanted to make a cool montage that people would want to watch, but I didn't really have the amount of friends that trick shotted back then. There were a couple of us that knew about it, but we weren't really good at all. So we could clear out and get to last, but the times that we did have a 6-man, we had no idea what we were doing. But yeah, it was Illcams 14 that really inspired me. That was the one thing that made me want to get into trick shotting. And I don't really know what date that came out on. Yeah, let me check real quick. Alright, I think it was November 5th, 2010 is when that one came out. So that was pretty early on. And so that was the one that made me want to trick shot, made me want to make montages. And so since we didn't really have the people to go into search right then, what me and Drowsy used to do, and this is what made us really close, I think, was we would just spend hours on quarry. Hours. And this is back when nobody was hitting crazy stuff. So we were doing like tempers from the top of the quarry ladder. And eventually, like, that's pretty much how we progressed in trick shotting. We spent months just going on quarry. And eventually we learned how to do fancy stuff with the ladder, like wall climb, stuff like that. But we never really went online and search on MW2 back then, which is a real shame, and I wish we could have. Because if I could have gone back to playing back then, that's what I definitely would have wanted to do, just because it was back when the community wasn't so horrible. So when we went for clips in online, me, Drowsy, Thomas or Psyche, Voidbot, people like that, we'd all just end up going into Black Ops 1, and we'd really go for stuff like no scopes, jumping throwing knives, cross map throwing knives, stuff like that. Stuff that you used to see in the old days people would make montages of, and I'm not gonna lie, that was really fun. But when MW3 came out, we had kind of figured out more of what was going on with trickshotting, so we kind of developed newer stuff, moved away from cross map throwing knives, stuff like that, and we were going for actual kill feeds more. Or when I say kill feeds, I don't mean standard sniper clips like you see today, like quad feed, stuff like that. Towards the beginning of MW3, we were going for triple feed, stuff like that. I remember going into games and 360 throwing knifing the drop zone. So as MW3 moved on, we got a lot better at everything, both sniping and trickshotting. So we were dropping really nice clips by the end of the game. I remember towards the end of MW3, Psychy hit an actual quad collat, and we freaked out over that. And right at the end of MW3 was when we really started making 6-mans in TDM, going for shots and cross-map throwing knives, really cool kill cams. And we only ever hit a couple, but that's really what got us into it, as strong as we are today. And then towards the end of MW3, I really hated the game. So what I did for the last couple months was I went back to Black Ops 1, and I pretty much just went for mid-gamers for about a month straight in Black Ops 1. And that was seriously fun, and that's where I met some of my Black Ops 1 trickshotting friends. And that's definitely what mainly inspired me to trickshot, was over that summer before Black Ops 2. I had so much fun on that game, and that's when I really changed my channel from commentaries and stuff like that to all trick shots. And that's kind of what made my channel what it is today. As you know now, I'm constantly, whenever I'm on Black Ops 2, I'm going for some sort of clip or something for a montage, something in private match. So it's kind of crazy to think back on how much different it was from when we started playing, but I actually think it's really cool. And that's another reason I thank you guys so much for supporting me, especially over these last couple months with my channel, since the new year really. It's been crazy as soon as I really switched my channel over to trickshotting, how much I've gained subs and how much I've gained support, and thank you all for that. Anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. Special shout out to Psychy. Well, that's a tongue twister. But special shout out to him. Congratulations on graduating, man, and I'm sure you'll do great in the future. Thank you all for watching.